Yeah, I found it on the streetcar track down at Queen and Carla, and I knew what it was right away. I mean, I said that's a coin. I picked it up, and that's the way it was. It was bent, like it was rounded, and to me that said ring, right? So I always like making rings, and my penny ring, 1944 penny. I'm Will Kennedy. I'm an artist, and I spent 25 years of my life doing exhibition design. Well, there's always in my art, when I paint, there's two parts, the top and the bottom. And I wondered if that didn't have something to do with the twins, the two, or the unconscious and conscious, all that stuff. So anyway, when I started doing the Spirit of Nature pieces, that's a piece of tin. The bottom one's a beer can. The top one's a beer can. These are from all over the world. This one's from Germany. This one's, I don't know where this one's from. Anyway, so I scratched the drawing into the surface, and then I paint it with, believe it or not, correction fluid, the white out. And it's hard as hell, right? So it won't come off. And it's called Spirit of Nature. Then I love stamps. Right? So this is called my stamp border, all the way around the border. So I always want to use stamps, but I can never get enough of them together to make a piece. So I resort to that. And one of these days, I've got quite a few stamps. One of these days, I will do a stamp piece. Just stamp.
All right, Will.
The nails, the reason for all the nails is that when I was a kid, I used to for some reason, I don't know why, but I would sit, there's a post out by the pump, the water pump, and I would sit there and just drive nails in. My poor father going, where are all the nails going? And so I use these little nails, they're called cigar box nails. And cigar box, it's a small box, they're usually wood, made out of wood, and they're very small, so I guess you don't see them. But I like using them, and they pierce the aluminum easily. They're from China, from Japan, from I think this is Germany actually. The Middle East. They're from everywhere, all over the world. And the problem I've got though is the back. They pierce the back, and when that happens, I have to put on a piece of foam cord to make sure they're safe. That nobody gets scratched by them. A friend of mine, Ed, he travels all over the world, and when he comes back, he brings me back beer cans, pop cans, all kind of cans that are crushed, and I flatten them out and then make a checkerboard out of them. I find it interesting that over the last year or so, I've been working with materials. With the art pieces are turning out that they're very influenced by the farm. And in the next show, there'll be some pieces that they have the board like this, but they have two sticks up the back that go up and down, and it's like a stone boat. And I work with another artist, Pat McGoss, and I work together. About 15 years now we've worked together, and I find it very difficult. And I have to talk to someone it's like Jackson Pollock says when he would get a painting done, he'd say to Lee Krasner, "Is this a painting?" And it's not making fun of Jackson Pollock. That's almost what it feels like. It comes out of nowhere. My brother-in-law said to me, "Where do you get your ideas from?" And I said, jokingly, out of a book, because you don't. They just come to you. You see one thing, you see another thing, and they come together. And when you're an artist, I think the hardest thing to do is to let yourself play. Play is so important. It's part of process, and to not be too critical of yourself, or not to be critical at all of yourself. It's to let things come as they come. And what color should I use next? Orange. What color should I use next? Orange and blue are opposite, right? If I put them together, you're going to get brown. But I don't think that way. It's automatic, but you have to know the rules to break them, as the old saying goes. I think it's the same thing in art, is you try to catch the spirit of what you're doing. And in art, people say, "Oh, that's not so good," or "That's not bad." But what I think makes people attracted to a certain piece of art is they pick up the spirit in the piece. And I've sold quite a few pieces that people will find something else in the piece that I never even intended, but I think that's exciting.